5 seconds and we are live.
Hello everyone and welcome to the second race of the Formula Europe knockout stage. You join us here in Bahrain for this race, and qualifying is already underway. So let me introduce first of all the team that will be with me tonight. We have joining me in the commentary box F1 Simu Tommy.
Yes, good evening everybody. I'm very happy to be here tonight, and I'm sure we're gonna have a great race tonight.
Okay, also here with us as the live streaming director is Alessandro Pietracatella.
Good evening everybody.
And I would say we jump right into proceedings here, because on track there has been already some action. We have seen a couple of laps from the F1 Simu drivers. We have F1 Simu William in first place with 126.270, followed by Adeo with 126.4, and then Matouf 126.6. All the drivers, I would say, I don't really know yet, almost all the drivers have set those times on the super softs, so I think being a 100% race, it will be I think they will be starting with the softest tire available, because there is no clever strategy to do, just pushing all out for the whole duration of the race, which will be quite long, I would say.
Yes, it's a complete race, and just before the live we saw F1 Aero Squad doing a mistake at the end of the sector 2, so he's going on again on the super soft tires, and he will be doing a hot lap next.
Yeah, pretty shortly, because he's going now through the last corner and he will be starting his flying lap. And let's see where he is going to get himself up to. We have had also a time on the soft tires by TF1 Alesi, who is a 128.5 on 2 laps old tires, so
it's pretty far.
Yeah, it's a pretty long way from the leaders, and we will see if he can improve on these tires or if he's going to come into the pits and fit on the softest compound, while Sutil now puts himself into 4th place with the medium tires, which is a really good position. 127.7, just, and I would say just is a little bit loosely, but 1 second pretty much down on Matouf's time.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe they're it's just to put themselves on the right pace, and at the end of qualifying they will be on the softest compound.
Yeah, they're trying maybe to get used a little bit to the track, the conditions. See, it's a night race as well, and so it's important to understand the grip levels a little bit, and also when track evolution will come into play, we'll have the drivers setting their time at the very end of the session with the fastest tire, trying to get themselves as up the grid as they can.
We can see Sgod is in pits again, and I don't know how he will manage that, because he was already on this second set of super soft tires.
Yeah, he will have to be very careful on his third and last set, I would say, of super softs, because he will only have one try now.
Yes. Yes, he will have to manage the race with at least maybe two two set of soft tires.
Yeah, maybe. And we will see if the others will manage to do 2 stints on the super soft, because we will see about the tire wear as the race will get started, but I don't know if it will be possible, because the tire wear is really high on this circuit. Very
And
high speed corners.
Dora Rosa just went off the track, and at the end of sector 2 he lost the rear, and he was on the quick lap, but he will have to box.
Yeah, he's coming into the pits now, and he was on medium tires, so...
He was pushing really hard, but the medium tires are really not good.
Yeah, they are really hard to get into the right operating window, as in terms of temperature, of course. They are a little bit more of a... Yeah.
Spark is doing a lap.
Yeah, so let's see where he... what his time is. Right now, let's take a look at the sectors by William, who is the current pole sitter. It's a 27.7 in the first sector, 37.1 and 21.4. So these are the times we have to look for in the standings and in the race director hub. And Spark is now on 27.6 in the first sector, 37.0 on the second sector. So it's a pretty good lap. Let's see where he can go up to.
Just a little bit of slipstream by Matouf, which is we'll see
it's
if
always
it
good.
Works. And it works.
It's a 126.1. It's a new fastest lap of the session, and puts him right up into provisional pole position. And we'll see if the others are going to be able to respond to this time. Right now, the grid is looking really good for the F1 Simu guys. Take a picture to this grid, because
I will.
we have Spark, William, Adeo, and Matouf occupying the first 4 positions of the grid.
It's not over yet, and we'll see if Hamilton or Osgard can do a good lap.
Yeah, we have 2 drivers who have not set a time yet. They are F1 Hero Z-God and Plasia, who are... Plasia is in the pits right now. I don't know if he's going to come out. And F1 Hero is going to start his flying lap soon. He's now going through the last section of the track, and he's going to start in a matter of seconds. Let's see if this will be the right time for him to have a time set. Also expecting a little bit more from the likes of TF1 Hamilton and De La Rosa, who have proved, especially De La Rosa, to be really fast in the previous races they have competed in. But right now they didn't manage to put in a really good lap, and I wonder if they are going to come out right at the dead of the session, so they have the most available grip. And I want to say De La Rosa could be on a pretty particular strategy, because I saw just now he selected the soft tires. So do you think, Tommy, he's going to try this alternate strategy to maybe do something a little bit different?
Yes, I think I just have a look. He was on medium tires, and now he would improve with a softest tire, with a soft, and he was already quick. Oh, he was quite a wide
Yeah,
end, but
it's 3 seconds off the pace actually, but
yes, absolutely. It was Sutil was faster, but yes, TF1 can do something on the with soft tires. It looks like it's their choice. The F1 Simu is looking for softer strategy, but TF1 on the soft strategy only.
in the
There will be
meantime,
a starting
F1 Hero,
that.
F1 Hero has climbed up to 5th place with a 127.5, which puts him right at the end of the F1 Simu train.
I wonder if Hamilton just have been blocked by Adeo. I don't know. He's
Now Hamilton is not in his flying lap right now. He was warming up his tires, and he's going to start soon. He's on super softs, while De La Rosa and Sutil are on soft tires, and Alesi has not come out on the track yet.
I don't know what F1 Aero is doing. He's very slow on track. Maybe no more fuel.
What are you talking about? Sorry.
F1 Hero squad.
Okay.
I think he has
It looks like
raised
he
fuel.
doesn't have any fuel.
Yeah, he may be out of fuel, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, he's out of fuel. And he's pulling out of the way. And we have now Matouf is going to start his flying lap right now, while F1 Simo William, I think, will be one of the first to close his lap right now in the last corner. Let's see if he can improve on the time he did previously. He comes to the line right now, and he does. 1:26.0 is the new pole position time from F1 Simo William.
He had a very good line at the exit of the last corner.
Yeah, he tried to exploit as much as he could from the track and the curb on the exit, and it really paid off because he wasn't that quick on the first sector I saw, but then in the last two he was really good and managed to put himself up into pole position again. But it's not over yet because Adeo is going to conclude his lap right now. Last corner for him, while Hamilton comes in. 1:25.871. It's the new pole position. Adeo improves also. 1:26.104. Puts itself in 3rd place. Let's see if there's someone else who's going to improve. There are Spark and Matouf. Matouf right now on the last corner. Let's see if he can jump up some positions. Looks like he won't. He improves, but he doesn't improve his position. 1:26.554, and
yes,
Spark is now. Yeah. Oh, Spark,
Nice.
and now Spark is on the line, and he does not improve his time. And now the checker flag drops. I don't know why I still have 5 seconds left in the session, and I see checker flags that are
and he improves of 1 position.
Yeah. And the TF1 guys have not set a time yet. They are coming towards the line right now, but Sutil goes wide at the last corner and he pulls into the pits, so he doesn't have a time on these soft tires. He pulls into the pits, while De La Rosa is in 11th place right now, and let's see if he's going to improve. Last corner for him. He looks like he's going to finish his lap, and he does not improve. So it's 11th place for the TF1 guys, for TF1 De La Rosa actually, and I don't think we have any drivers left on their flying lap. I don't think. No.
so too.
Wow, Spark has actually hit the wall very, very hard there. It looks like he has been spun by someone, or he had just spun by his own. Yeah, it's the little bit of a glitch there.
It's like the
So
high-tech.
let's have a look at the starting grid after this qualifying session. It's TF1 Hamilton on pole position with a 125.871. Joining him on the front row will be F1 Simu William with 126.039. Then the second row is all Alfa Romeo Sauber with Adeo and Spark. And then for the third row we have Matuf and F1 Hero. Then the fourth row is all TF1 with TF1 Sutil and TF1 Alesi. Both on soft tires will be starting the race on the harder compound, so they'll have a little bit of a struggle on the first part, we think, but they will be presumably the fastest guys on track at the very end of the session. And looking at the rest of the field, it really stands out the 11th position of TF1 Della Rosa, who has had a really, really bad qualifying, actually, because he didn't manage to put his lap in on the soft tires, and so he'll have to start from 11th position. Little bit of a consolation for him will be that he will have new tires, as will Plasia, who didn't take part in the qualifying. Yes, Tommy.
Yes, as you said it, it's a good consolation for him because he has new tires and he will manage to overtake at least 2 or 3 guys, 2 or 3 divers. So it's not that bad, but it reminds me a little bit Leclerc Sunday in Monaco. He was doing bad in qualifying and
yeah,
he was looking for the race. For a better race.
The difference is that luckily for Della Rosa, we are not in Monaco here, and overtaking is actually possible. Well, if you are Charles Leclerc, actually it's possible even in Monaco, it seems, but you'd have to take so many risks. And today, he will have 2 really comfortable DRS straights to try those moves, and let's see the tires he's going to start on, because we could see a 50% split on the strategy by the TF1 guys, because they have 2 drivers on the softs and 1 driver on the super soft and 1 driver who has to choose. And we'll see. He also has plenty of new super softs available. De La Rosa does, because he didn't use many of them he didn't use any of them in the qualifying session. Now the formation lap is underway. And let's see.
The driver who got the last super soft tires is F1 Aero, so we'll see what he does also with his tires.
And he has done a really particular choice, De La Rosa has, because he's on the medium tires. So he has the potential to go ahead and do a one-stop strategy, actually. I don't know if it's gonna grant him a good pace for throughout the race, I would say, but it's definitely a possibility because he's starting so far back, and if he manages to gain some positions early on and take track position and defend when he has to, he might be in a very good position, because if he does only 1 pit stop, he gains effectively 20 seconds on the whole field.
Yes. You will have to pay attention to not lose a lot of time at the beginning of the race, You have to be very conscious with that.
Cautious but also aggressive, because he has to make those moves. He has to pass
Yes.
as many drivers as he can.
So
Now
there
the
are
drivers,
yes.
the drivers are starting to line up again on their grid slots to start the race. And we will see who will be turning right in first position in a matter of seconds. There's Plasia, who is going to take his 12th grid slot just now, and we just have to wait for the lights to go up. There they are, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And away we go in Bahrain, with a good start from Hamilton, but also a good one from William, who has the inside for turn 1, but Hamilton manages to stay ahead, and there's a battle behind with Adeo, who has the inside for turn 2 and manages to get past his teammates. And then Matouf in 4th position with the Spark, who has lost a little bit of time, well, quite many positions actually. And De La Rosa we saw already in 8th place, so a great start from the TF1 Red Bull driver. And also F1 Hero has gained 1 position, and now he's holding up a little bit of a TF1 train with Sutil, Alizé and De La Rosa, while Spark has definitely some problems. There's a Plasia also out of the track. Is in the
Plasia, he went off at in sector 2. Plasia,
yeah,
on the last place. Yes.
while Spark is seems to be a little bit slow. I don't know what's the problem with him, because I don't really see any damage to his car, but he's going really slow, and he's maybe
Spark
at a spin.
was touched by F1 Hero at the first corner.
Okay, so maybe he spun or something, and he lost.
Yes, he almost spun because he was touched by F1 Hero.
While De La Rosa is now coming through the field and is wow, I just seen F1 Simu Spark going up the order in first place. I don't know what's happening with my game, but I'm going to assume he's not there. And I was saying De La Rosa is coming through the field. He's doing pretty much all he has to do. He took his teammate's position of a P7 and is now looking to attack his other teammate, TF1 Sutil. I don't know who will be faster, because they are both medium tires, so we'll see if there be any team orders for them, while F1 Hero seems to have got his act together a little bit and has pulled a 2.3 second gap to Sutil, and he's a little bit alone now, because he's also 1.9 second behind Matouf. While De La Rosa overtakes Sutil. Well, Sutil lets De La Rosa through, and we'll see if he has the pace to catch F1 Hero, and it will be quite quite something, because what?
Is off at the end of sector 2.
Sabo is off at turn, I would say 12. Yes, I think it's turn 12. Maybe he touched the curb.
Yes, the curb in the inside, on the inside, and he spun.
Now William is the fastest guy on track with a 31.7. Sorry, he has set the fastest time. He's in P3 at the moment, but the top 3 are separated by just about less than a second, and we'll see if they are going to battle or if they are going to have. To try and pull the gap a little bit from the guys behind. While De La Rosa seems to be pretty fast on the stars. He has gained half a second, I would say, on F1 Hero on the last lap.
Yes.
Maybe also a little bit of tire wear coming into play for the Ferrari driver. That might be his problem, but right now the situation has a little bit calmed after the first lap, and Hamilton has almost managed to break the 1 second. He has now 1 second ahead of Adeo, but the Sauber driver manages to stay within the DRS range and can now use the rear flap, while Hamilton sets the fastest lap of the race in 1:31.426.
And Spark is overtaking Matuf.
Yeah, Spark.
Turn 1.
Spark is
seems to be a little bit faster.
well.
And Adeo is pretty close of Hamilton.
Well, I think you'll have to commentate on Spark's race, because I genuinely cannot see him on track.
Okay. That's very weird, but okay.
Yeah,
I will do it.
for me, Matuf is alone.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of F1 2018, actually.
Yes.
And one of the multiple beauties we have seen. And
So how many drivers do you see on track?
I see everyone in the correct position except for Spark, who is in last place, 10 seconds behind Placio.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense, I know.
He will be happy. He will be happy.
Okay, so De La Rosa has managed also to close the gap a little bit more to F1 Hero. Is now 1.6 seconds back, and he's looking to get into that DRS range. Will be really, really important for him to save also a little bit of fuel, maybe, because fuel is a very important part of this race.
On
And
this track also, yes.
because this track is a really fast track.
Super soft tires to slow down a little bit with the pace, with the tire wear. So we can see F1 Hero a little bit sliding. So
The guys
can get the DRS now.
The guys on Supersoft will be starting to struggle a little bit from a certain point of the race. It doesn't seem so for TF1 Hamilton, who is now starting to pull the gap a little bit, 1.4 seconds ahead of Adeo, who is now wanting to look a little bit more behind him than ahead of him, because William is really, really close, but they will be doing some good old teamwork, I think, and drag each other for as long as they can, actually, because as we were saying before, the fuel is a really important part and element of this race, because it's a really fast track, and using rich mix and all the DRS you can down the main straight is really a key part to be as fast as you can. Now De La Rosa is really close. 0.3 seconds. He's going for the move on the outside. He brakes late. He does so, and tries to hang around the outside. And F1 Hero cannot resist, and he will try to be a little bit aggressive on turn 4 on the outside. But De La Rosa covers it. He goes for a switchback. F1 Hero, and he will have the inside, but De La Rosa squeezes him a little bit in the center of the track, and he stays ahead, and now can start doing his pace and try to catch Matuf, who is ahead. I don't really know if Matuf or Spark are...
I think it's Matuf, and De La Rosa is 4.5 seconds behind.
Okay,
Matu.
that's correct at least. That's
Okay.
really
That's great.
relieving.
Yes, and it was a brilliant move by De La Rosa. It was very beautiful. On
Yeah,
the
he had
outside,
the overspeed and he managed
yes,
to slide around the outside and take the position and also defend for the next section of corners
yes,
from the comeback by Hero, who doesn't seem to be struggling that much at keeping the pace of De La Rosa. Now he will be using DRS on this straight. He will be taking advantage of this situation to
yes.
save.
He will be closer. He
Yeah,
will get closer.
let's see if he has the possibility to go for counter-attack, but he doesn't because De La Rosa had enough of a gap at the start of the straight. And now is 0.9. The gap is now opened to over 1 second, and so now Hero has to focus a little bit more behind him, not to lose the position to Sutil. But yeah, De La Rosa is actually in a pretty good position right now because he is just about, I would say, just a second, is 11 seconds
He has
behind
done the
the leader.
perfect. It was the perfect start of the race for him. Everything,
Yeah,
the best has happened for him. He's in a
yeah,
good position.
he
He picks and not too far off the lead. So it's really great for De La Rosa, and it will be a good result for TF1 if he keeps going.
Ooh, I have seen F1 Hero going out at turn 13, and I think he has lost his front wing. Yes, he
Yes.
has. He lost the car, he lost the rear on the curb, and he couldn't control anymore, and he went on a pendulum effect and went straight into the wall. Lucky for him, he
In the
didn't
box.
break any suspension, but yeah, straight into the pits right now to change that front wing, and
Oh,
also 5-second
and
penalty.
penalty.
Wow,
What a
that
disaster.
hurts.
Yes.
That hurts.
Everything just went wrong in the 20 seconds.
Yeah, everything that that could go wrong did, and now he's sadly in last place,
Yes.
so far back from the
That's
group
really
on
fast.
new tires, but he has a long way to go.
Maybe it was he slid, no? And because of the tire wear.
Yeah, he was a
His
little bit
tires were maybe...
optimistic on the throttle maybe, and the tires
Yes.
couldn't handle it, and he lost it. We were talking about De La Rosa, who has done, yeah, a really good job, while Matouf has stopped. Actually, we lost Matouf's stop. He has put on the soft tires, and now he's in P8, and now
P9, I see. I think it's
P9
P9.
actually.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
obviously it's
also
P9.
F1C William and
Yeah,
Spark are pitting.
William and Spark are into the pits,
Yes.
and
William puts soft tires and Spark also.
yeah, so the majority of the drivers will be going onto the soft tires right now to
And Matov will be
go as long as
overtaking
they can.
Subix.
Yes, Cubics, and Matouf is on the inside, and he manages to take P8, if I don't go
Yes.
wrong.
Yes, it is. And Sparks he, went out of the pits in front of Matov. It doesn't change with the pit stop.
Okay, so I think that my situation is a little bit better about Spark right now, because I see him in P9,
Okay.
right behind Scubix. So
Okay.
yeah, but Anyway, we will see now if Adeo and TF1 Hamilton react to the situation. Actually, Hamilton carries on.
Doesn't. Yes. And Adeo is in the pit.
And Adeo is in. So the F1 Simu guys will have to push the hell out of their new tires, because if they want to take track position on Hamilton, and William is the most likely to do so, because let's see where Adeo comes out and where is William right now. Adeo is in front of him, actually a long way in front of him. He has gained a little bit, while Adeo is fighting for his position with Alesi, who just comes out ahead. But now Adeo has a good run. Going into turn 4, he goes on the inside and he brakes late and tries to squeeze out his opponent, and he manages to take P4 and stay ahead of Alesi. That was really important, because Alesi's tires are 9 laps old, and now Adeo has clear air to do his pace and push to try and overtake
That was
Hamilton.
an important move. That was important for him because he is on new tires, so he needs clean air.
Yeah, he needs space to push as much as he can.
William went really close of Alesi.
Yeah,
almost,
he's really close. And he has to be careful. Don't want to throw away everything
And
for
Hamilton
just an
is in the
overtake.
pit.
Hamilton is in, and let's see where he comes out. Leaves his pit slot right now. And Adeo is at the start of the straight, so Hamilton should be safe. He rejoins behind his teammate Sutil, and Adeo is just now braking for turn 1, so nothing has changed in the first 3 positions, while William has overtaken Alesi on the straight.
Spark will do it, maybe. He's on
And
the
Spark,
inside.
you'll have to comment on that. I can't
Yes.
see actually.
That's right. He stays behind Alesi. The only thing is that Adeo lost time with Hamilton. He's a little
Yeah,
bit,
he lost actually quite a lot of time. He was 1.5 behind, now he's 3 seconds behind. I think it was because of that battle with Alesi. He managed to gain himself clean air, but not early enough to counter the fact that he lost time trying the overtake. So for now, Hamilton has a comfortable lead, and also two of his teammates ahead who are yet to pit on medium tires. So I think they will go really long in this Grand Prix.
There's
I think so,
information
yes.
from the chat of the live that De La Rosa and Sutil made a mistake loading the setup, so they should be racing with a wrong setup.
Oh, okay. So this might become a problem for their strategy, because we know how much setup can influence the tire wear, and if they're trying to do a one-stop, you want as less tire wear as you can, and you need to be saving those tires to make them last. And that's not ideal, while Hamilton overtakes Sutil right now at the hairpin of turn 8. And
yes,
gains
let
himself
Hamilton through,
P2.
and I think Hamilton doesn't lost so much time. It was okay for him, but Adeo is just 2 seconds of Sutil now.
Yeah, it seems like Adeo has a really good pace on these soft tires, because he has gained on Hamilton since he came out of the pits, and now is
Yes, just a little bit, yes.
He's just 1.3 seconds behind Sutil, who is on much older and harder tires, so I don't think
And Matu
will be too much of a challenge.
Alesi also.
Yeah, also Matouf overtook Alesi and is now up into P8. You
is
have to help
P8
me
and,
here because I don't know
Matu
where Spark is.
Yes, Spark is 6, and Matuf is 7th, and Alesi 8. Sparks is
Okay.
2 seconds off William. 2 seconds
Okay.
behind.
Thank you for the update. That's a little bit surreal.
Yes, absolutely. Adeo has closed the gap on Sutil.
Yeah, he's right at the back of the McLaren driver, and now we'll have DRS available to try and overtake his opponent. Sutil covers the inside to try and help his teammate, and Adeo tries to go the long way, but it doesn't work, and he has to stay behind for the moment. Let's see if he will have the good run going into the last corner. He's patient right now, tighter on the apex here at turn 13, and he takes all the slipstream he can and tries to go for the move, but Sutil is actually really fast on a straight line.
Yes,
And
I think Adeo was charging his battery, and now
yeah,
he
maybe.
will deploy the RS.
Yeah, here he will be surely deploying all the RS. He goes to the inside, and no problem for him overtaking Sutil. Now, he brakes for turn 1. Sutil has a little bit of a look, but nothing really doing, and he stays behind.
I'm sure Adeo isn't happy because of this situation, because they lost time, and I think Adeo he wasn't going for the move on the first DRS zone. He would have stayed behind Sutil, but Sutil went of the defensive line, and they lost
He had
time
to go for
after
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
He had to go the long way on that turn. He couldn't take the apex, and he lost time. And now he's 4.1 seconds.
And no, it's
back
William
from.
who will overtake Sutil.
Yeah, William on the outside he does.
Yes.
He does. That's a brilliant move actually. On the outside,
He was
under
closer.
braking, and then
Yes.
cuts across the McLaren driver. That's a really impressive move.
Yes, around the outside. He was closer on the straight line, so on the straight. So it was better for him.
And
It's a hard time
now,
for Sutil. He been overtaken by all the F1 Simu team. It's
yeah, and now
Spark.
he's they are legitimately ahead of him because they all had to do one more stop, but Sutil has the slowest
Spark
tires.
really battling in the first turns. Now they are going to turn 4, and Spark managed to overtake Sutil.
Okay, thank you for that, because I didn't have the pleasure to see that.
Yes.
And the gap between Hamilton and Adeo is increasing a little bit. It's 4.5, 4.6 right now. Seems like Hamilton has heated up these tires, and now he's managing to make the most of them, while trying to gain some ground on De La Rosa, who is still out in first place. Really impressive job for him, we have said that. But the fact that he still has 7.4 seconds on Hamilton is really impressive, because he has much more worn tires, and he has also, and they are also harder tires. So a really impressive job by him. Let's see if he can keep that from until the end. because right now he's legitimately in the lead, actually,
Yes.
because all the drivers are still have to make one stop.
Yes, and De La Rosa is pretty quick. It doesn't look like he hasn't his setting.
No, in fact, he's if he has really done that mistake, it doesn't seem to be hurting him that much.
Yes.
In the last lap, Hamilton did a 130.8, while De La Rosa is lapping 131.6. Is actually a pretty good pace for a driver who's on 15 laps old medium tires. To have a comparison, Sutil is lapping in the mid to low 33s. So he has really impressive pace and really impressive confidence on these tires. And we will see when he is going to come into the pits, because there's a possibility for him to let Hamilton arrive or even overtake him and then pit right away to go on a set of soft tires and try to go to the end. But we will see, because it's just a matter of time until Hamilton arrives.
Yeah,
Now
but
it's
at the moment
5.9.
he's losing almost more than 1.5 seconds for a lap.
Yeah, maybe now he's
Hamilton.
starting to struggle a little bit more. For 5.8 is the gap, and he's coming down faster than he ever has before. While
Yes, he
also
lost,
the gap to Leo.
more than 1 second and in the last lap. So he's starting to struggle a bit more with medium tires. Sutil just went out of the pit. He's just in front, just ahead of Sabo. In Sutil is 8.
Yeah, I see him 7th, but we know why. And
Yes.
yeah, he's right behind. Well, not right behind, actually, 12 seconds behind Alesi. But this gives us an important indication about the tires, because the medium tires lasted 17 laps on him. Wow, Hamilton,
Yes.
130.829 is the fastest lap of the race, and he gained 1 second on De La Rosa. I was saying the medium tires lasted 17 laps,
17, yes.
and that's not really a long way. We have 57 laps to do, and there still are 40 laps to go. So
Yes, maybe we will see many stops.
yeah, we could also see
and-
some 3 stops.
Yes. And more than that, De La Rosa is still on track with medium tires, but he's really not quick compared to Hamilton. So we will see if this is the right choice to stay on track or not. But
Yeah,
he
I
was
don't
going
know
for
if
a one-stop strategy, so it will be difficult.
yeah, at this point I don't think he will be able to do that one-stop strategy, because
Yes.
if you want that, you have to make those medium tires last more than half the race, and I don't think he gets anywhere near that.
Yes. Or if he does, he will be very, really slow, and I think at least 4 drivers will overtake him before
Yeah.
he pits. So
Yeah. But,
we
well,
will.
judging the tire in general, he might still be on a strategy where he has to do one less stop than the others. So procrastinating is actually has actually sense, but it's something he'll have to look into really carefully because he has to decide right now if he wants to go fast for the rest of the race or keep on doing what he's doing now and struggle more, but try to do one less stop than the others and really go for a higher position, defending the hell out of his out of his car.
Yes. And drivers like Williams, Sparks, and Matouf have already many laps on their soft tires. They they still have a good pace. Alesi has 18 laps on the soft tires. Sutil will get ready. He will close the gap quite quickly.
Yeah, he has already closed by 4 seconds or something in a couple of laps. So yeah, Alice's softs are not really looking that good, but at the same time, it doesn't seem to be much different from the medium tires. They are both lasting a long
Yes, a long
way.
way. Yes.
And
just at the moment, Alesi is pitting.
yeah,
he's in the pits.
as he's in the pits, and he put on a set of super softs. So short stint in the middle of the race for him, and we'll see where it takes him and how fast he can go, because that's an important indication for the rest of the race. While De La Rosa is still out there now, the gap to Hamilton has stabilized a little bit. Is around 4.1 seconds. Maybe Hamilton is a little bit calmed down, trying to cool his tires a little bit, not to stretch them more than he needs to. And De La Rosa, yeah, still goes ahead,
Yes,
goes on.
He still have a 4-second advantage.
Yeah.
He looks like to have an impressive pace.
Well, there's a yellow flag, I see. Yeah, well,
I don't know
there's
why.
no more yellow flag. I don't know why. Yeah,
Yes.
we didn't catch what happened.
Sutil has a broken wing. Maybe. he
Wow,
was,
and
F1
so
driver.
that might be the reason, because yeah, Sutil is now entering the pit lane. So that's
Damaged
this-
wing for him.
yeah.
Yes.
He has lost the whole left part of his front wing, at least, because I can't see the right one actually. And yeah, now his strategy is completely ruined actually, but let's see what he can do. So, well, soft tires for him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I had some doubt because I see the red wall, but they are soft tires. So
Yes.
more
Yeah.
strange things happen here, and we have to go over that. And
And
yeah, now
he's
Hamilton.
just ahead of Sabo. They
Yeah,
both have
and
new soft tires.
soft tires. Yeah, but he's actually 4.1 seconds ahead, and now he should be safe from the Polish driver. I would take this.
Overtook William meanwhile at turn 1.
Yes,
Spark
Spark.
overtook William. Yeah, that would
Yes.
have been nice to see. I will take a moment now to remind the standings, because let's not forget that the formula of this knockout stage sees the first 2 teams of the standings go ahead and proceed to the finals to race against the 3 teams who won the group stage. we have right now, before this race, TF1 on 65 points, F1 Simu on 40 points, and F1 Polish League on 11 points before this race. And right now, I think F1 Simu and TF1 would be really safe. It's safe to say they are looking really good to proceed to the finals. We'll have to wait and see, but obviously they had quite a big gap to the Polish team, and they are doing quite well in this race. Right now, also TF1 Hamilton has closed the gap a little bit more to 3 seconds right now, 2.9. And De La Rosa has 22 laps on his tires. I don't know if he has found a little bit more pace in the last laps, because he's
so,
actually
because,
keeping
the gap.
yeah, the gap is there, pretty much
The same.
stable.
Yes.
Stable as it can be when you have a driver behind who has newer and softer tires. But yeah, he's doing a really good job.
On medium tires, yes, definitely. Also, you can see it, but Spark is very quick at the moment. William tries to stay behind, to stay in contact, but he is almost 1 second off Spark at the moment. So
Yeah,
Spark is very quick.
we had seen Adeo going really fast on the soft tires in the first part of his stint, and right now Spark has found some really good pace. Has overtaken William, and he's trying to keep as close as he can to the guys ahead. While I would say Mathieu has a little bit disappeared from his race. He is,
Yes.
of course, keeping the car on the track. He's doing his job. He's in P6 right now.
Yes,
Trying
since
to
the first stop, he lose a little bit every
maybe
lap.
he
Back.
doesn't have that confidence he had on the super soft, also on the softs, and we will see if he's trying to go longer to try and fit on another set of
Stop for
super
De La
softs.
Rosa.
De La Rosa
Yes.
is in the pits right now, and so Hamilton regains the lead, and Adeo, who is now 10 seconds back from Hamilton,
He changes
is
his strategy since super soft for him.
yeah, super softs, and so he will not be doing a one-stop strategy. That's confirmation. He rejoins just behind. Wow, there's Spark. I don't really know where he rejoined.
He
In front of
back,
Matuf.
Ahead of Matuf, yeah. 2.8 seconds ahead of Matuf.
and 9 seconds behind William.
Okay, 9 seconds behind Williams. So yeah, it's he has gained quite a lot actually. He's in 5th place, so he has jumped Matuf effectively. He was behind him before the pit stop phases.
Yeah,
Attention
so
on
De La Rosa was
Sutil
super.
that is going to overtake
And
Hero.
yes, Sutil is on the back of F1 Hero. He opens the DRS right now. Hero tries to defend the inside, but Sutil goes even more to the inside, and he brakes late and goes for the move and overtakes the Polish driver to take P8. Now he is 12 seconds behind his teammate of Alesi, who is on his part 35 seconds behind Mathieu. So I would say this race is pretty much split into two. We have the first six of Hamilton, Adeo, Spark, William, De La Rosa, and Mathieu, and then we have the other six of Alesi, Sutil, F1 Hero, Sabo, Scubix, and Plasia, who are in, I would say, two separate planets, because 30 and odd seconds are a long way, actually.
Yes, Matuf is 24 seconds behind Hamilton, and after that Alesi is 1 minute behind Hamilton.
Yeah,
so yes,
so
two different worlds.
Hamilton has really imposed a fast pace to this race, and he has made a little bit of a selection of 6 drivers who could pretty much stay with him, because the closest one is 8.3 second Adeo, which is actually quite a long way. But we are nearing the, I think, the second pit stop phase of the race, and let's see if anyone tries to go on to the medium tires and get to the end of this race, because now there's a possibility, and De La Rosa now sets the fastest lap on his new super soft tires, 1:30.057. He is the fastest man on track, obviously, and he's trying to go and catch William, who is, as the gap now comes back, he's 6.2 seconds behind him. He has gained 3 seconds since he came out of the pits in just a couple of laps, so he's literally flying at the moment. We will see him charge through the field very, very shortly, because also then Spark and Adeo are not that far from William, so he's looking really good at the moment. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. I didn't really catch why.
Script's story that is left the others.
Okay, it's Cubix, so he is he's letting the leaders through.
Yes, and Plasia too.
Yeah. The two drivers who are closing the order right now. And yeah, De La Rosa gained 1 more second on William. Yeah, and that's another fastest lap, 1:29.924. He's the first man to break into the 29s. So that's really impressive pace, and there's more to come, because his tires are the freshest and he's the fastest man on track right now. 4.7 seconds behind William, and he will catch him really, really quickly, and we will have a battle on our screens. And if it wasn't for De La Rosa, now the situation has really settled in. There is Hamilton, who is leading by 9.2 seconds. He's actually gained a lot of time in the last couple of laps. Then there's Spark.
Adeo.
Yeah, then there's Adeo, obviously. Then in third place is Spark, if I don't go wrong, some way behind.
2.2 seconds of Adeo.
Okay,
and,
thank you.
1.7 in front of William.
Okay, thanks very much for that. And yeah, so the top 5 I'm really looking forward to the battle for second place, because I think these guys are going to bunch up a little bit when they start to feel that De La Rosa is arriving, and they will all start to push a little bit more if they have any life left in their tires, actually, because that's not for sure. But
Yes,
yeah, De La
yes.
Rosa
In 20 laps
now.
since they are on the soft tires.
And De La Rosa is there. 2.1 seconds. He can see now, William. He can
Yes.
see his spray, and he's
Yes,
on the
gap
hunt.
just got update. No, it's just 8 tenths of a second
Yeah.
behind William.
He will be using DRS on the pit straight, and so let's stay on this battle, because it's going to be heated. Last corner for both of them. Wow, it's really close. De La Rosa is so close. Really good traction for him. He goes for the move, and William doesn't put up too much of a fight. Wow,
Yes.
129.740, and he goes on the inside and takes
Spark went into
P4.
the pit.
Yeah, Spark
Yes, you
into
can
the
see
pits.
it, but Spark is in the pit, and he put soft tires.
Okay, I
finish
can
the
see
race, I
he's
think.
in the pits. That's actually good. I can
Okay.
see he's in the pits.
Now
But
he's coming out of the pit.
I have yeah.
And
Out of the
he's,
pits.
yes, he is in sixth position and 6.6 seconds behind Matouf.
Okay, 6.6. So I can see him in sixth position, but he's not in
Okay.
with the
that
right gap. So it's
And De La Rosa,
yeah.
so
De La Rosa is in
overtook William.
P3 right now.
Yes.
Overtook William, and now he's going for Adeo. 4 seconds
Yes.
separate them. And wow, he
It's
goes
even less,
wide.
I think he's
Yeah.
even closer.
Yeah, now he made a little bit of a mistake. He went wide on turn 13, so he lost a couple of tenths, but he will regain
In one
those.
lap, he has managed to create a 2.3 second gap with William. It's very
Wow, that's
impressive.
yeah, that's the difference when you have newer and softer tires. I don't think it's too long before the guys on soft tires start pitting, and they will be putting on another set of softs, I think, because otherwise they cannot get to the end. I think they will have to do some laps still, because there are still 26 laps to go, and these tires lasted 22 to 23 laps. But on lower fuel, the car is lighter, so they will be able to do a little bit more laps on the last stint. And also, I would like to, if I could, to keep an eye on Spark space, because we'll see if an undercut is a possibility here in this moment, because it could be a good strategy.
I will have a look. Now he's just 4.6 seconds behind Matouf. But
So
Matouf is on older tires. And Sutil got 5 second penalty.
Yeah, for ignoring blue flags.
Yes.
So it seems like he had he had to let De La Rosa and Adeo through.
Yes. So Matouf is in the pit, and with new soft tires.
New soft tires for him, and I think he will take them to the end of the race, while the others still continue on.
And so
Spark,
for
obviously.
Spark, he was doing a 1.30.2 second, and
Yeah, so
yes, and the Rosa is in 129.9, so just 3/10 lower for Spark.
yeah, with one compound difference, so it's quite a good pace, and well, actually, there's not really points to any undercut for the drivers that are now on track, because they are pretty much all the F1 Simu guys, apart from De La Rosa and Adeo. The Adeo is in the pits right now.
William also, he is in the pit.
Also William, yeah. While Hamilton continues on, as he did in the first stint. He went longer than anyone else, and now he does so once again. Now, yellow flag somewhere, maybe just other drivers letting the leaders through.
Yes, maybe if one arrow letting through Hamilton.
Yeah, maybe that's around the point where the leaders are in the lapped cars. So
And you can see it, but Spark, no, it's okay. Just
okay.
I see. Yes, it is. Spark is ahead of Adeo by 2 seconds. He undercut
Wow.
Adeo.
Wow, that's really big. That's really big news, because it changes the podium a little bit, because Adeo was in second place, and now effectively, obviously, and
Yes,
now Spark is in second place.
Yes, Spark was 1.2 seconds faster per lap of Adeo.
Yeah. And yeah, so we saw effectively the undercut coming into play here for Spark, and he did manage to take the position from Adeo. And now there's also De La Rosa's situation, who is a particular one. He's out of sync a little bit, but he will have the newest tires at the end. I don't think he will be able to go on another set of super softs, because it will be too long now. Wow, he takes a little bit of a risk with Sabo. He just about avoids collision, because Sabo was pulled out of the way a little bit too late, but no problem there at in the end.
Yes,
and now De La
because
Rosa
Sabo
has,
is fighting for 8th position with Sutil.
yeah, he is just wow. There's no, that's well, that's funny, because I've actually just seen Spark spinning in a contact with Matouf, and that doesn't actually exist. And that's
Absolutely, I think I see the right situation.
yeah. That's getting a little bit weird, isn't it? So
And Spark is very quick also, because Adeo can't really close the gap with him. He's just 2.1 seconds behind Spark, so the gap is stable.
yeah, they are pretty much on the same pace, it seems, and now De La Rosa also cannot close the gap anymore to TF1 Hamilton, who seems to be still have some pace on this on these tires, and he is putting them to good use until they can last, because now he has 11 seconds on De La Rosa. I would say 22, 21
And,
on
on that stint. Sutil is overtaking Sabo at the inside of the first DRS zone.
Yeah, Sabo tries to hang it around the outside. He will have the inside for the next corner. It's really dangerous to go side by side here, but they do. And Sabo comes out on top. He goes a little bit wide, so Sutil has the better traction, and he tries to pull alongside on the straight just before the last corner. He will be braking late at the 100-meter board on the last corner, and he does get the position on
That was
Sabo. Let's see
a mistake.
who'll
Just
have
before the direction
DRS.
point.
Yeah, because Sabo has the DRS right now, and he goes to the inside and re-overtakes and takes back his position, but Sutil tries to hang it around the outside, and he does so. Wow, that's a really brilliant defending from Sutil, who just about kept his 8th position. Now Sabo tries again, has a look down the inside. He doesn't really manage to do anything, and now Sutil is
Once
free
again,
to go. Wow.
once again, a brilliant move at the first corner. It's not
That outside
really
move.
that we see that.
That outside move seems to be
Easy.
a favorite for this
Yes.
race. It's actually a really impressive defending maneuver there by Sutil. He made it look easy, and I can assure you it's not. You want the inside in such a tight corner. And he managed to defend really, really well from Sabo's comeback. And now he has softer tires, so he can go on and
Hamilton
And
in the
Delarosa
pits
is still,
and a penalty for
5
him.
seconds. Well, this doesn't actually affect him that much, but it could cost him in the long term if he doesn't have really good pace right until the end of the race. We'll see, but we'll have to take that into account at the end of the race. Well, De La Rosa inherits the lead once again with 12 seconds, something like that, on Hamilton.
Oh yes.
And
the Spark is now behind Hamilton by 10 seconds.
okay, 10 seconds behind.
I
So
was
yeah,
looking at the gap between De La Rosa and Spark, and De La Rosa was still increasing the gap with the Spark. It was 23 seconds. So just before it was 21, around that. So he's still
right
very
now.
quick on that super soft tires.
Yeah, and he has to open that gap as much as he can, because he has to pit once more, and now he will be trying to make it a 1-2 for the TF1 guys. And
Yes.
he's looking really good to do so, because he is 13 seconds ahead of Hamilton, and like some 10 seconds more, who is some
Yes,
10 seconds
he got,
ahead of
He has
of Spark.
23 seconds. He's ahead of Spark by 23
It's
seconds.
really on the limit, and Spark has to do a really good job to, first of all, avoid that De La Rosa comes out ahead of him, and even if he does so, he will have a really hard time defending from him.
Yes, because De La Rosa will be very quick on super soft. Because I believe De La Rosa will put new super soft tires for the last stint.
Super soft, you say? Yeah,
Yes,
we
I think
have right now 19 laps to go. Yeah, he can make it. If he does a couple more laps on these tires, then he can pretty much go to the end with.
Yes, I think he can, because he's still quite quick on that super soft tires.
Yeah, and also we have to remember he has a new set of super soft tires because he didn't use any in qualifying, so he has plenty of them to use, and he will be trying to make the most of them, while Hamilton 1:29.726, his new fastest lap of the race. He's pushing really hard now to open the gap as much as he can
Yes,
to
it is
avoid any
3
problems with the
tenths
the
quicker than
penalty.
Spark and Adeo, who is very quick
Wow.
also.
Newer tires, and now he's really making the most of them. And now Spark gets a penalty, and that could cost him. That could cost him very much.
Yes, I think it cost him the podium, definitely.
Yeah. He has to try and open the gap to Adeo, but
He doesn't, because Adeo he just closed the gap. In fact,
yeah, they
he's just
are.
behind Spark now. Because, oh yes, you can see it, but Adeo is 6 tenths of the second behind Spark.
Okay, so he will have DRS on this lap, and well, if he tries the move, you can you can
I will
commentate
tell
on
you.
that. But right now, yeah, De La Rosa is on his 15th lap on this super soft. This shows us how much. Wow, Hamilton is.
Wow.
Those times are coming tumbling down. 1:29.403. It's
So,
the second fastest lap
if
in a
you
row.
look at Adeo, Spark is in the inside line, and Adeo went for the move at the braking zone at turn 1.
Okay.
So Spark is now fourth, and he didn't resist to Adeo.
Okay, so he let his teammate through, and
Yes.
maybe they are trying to avoid that De La Rosa comes out ahead of them. But yeah, right now it's still on the limit. The pace is really there, pretty much the same. And yeah, De La Rosa will be coming into the pits really, really shortly, I think, and then we'll have lightning pace at the end of the race, and he will be on a charge for P2.
There's just around 16 laps remaining, so he will be flying till the end.
Yeah. And he has just done 15 laps, 16 laps right now on this super soft tire, so it will be no problem to get to the end. And
Absolutely, yes.
we'll see when
Definitely
he is going to pit.
A brilliant strategy for him. A very quick pace also, so almost
Yeah,
a
and
perfect race.
as we saw in other races before, in particular I am talking about the Baku race of Group C, where LMD Eagle managed a really good strategy after a little bit of an upset in qualifying. And same here for De La Rosa. These alternate strategies and these bad qualifyings often turn out to be a little bit of a blessing in disguise, because if the drivers do so well when they are when they have bad qualifyings, then I don't really see why they should be putting that much effort into doing qualifying, because now De La Rosa has so many. Wow, Hamilton 3 seconds, and this puts his total to 8. And so yeah, watch out for Adeo, because if he has enough pace, it might be a problem for Hamilton.
Absolutely, and De La Rosa could win the race actually.
Yeah, it's not actually out of the question, because he will be so much faster than anyone else. and he will have, and Hamilton will have those penalties to serve. So it's looking rather strange now. We will see what
And
happens.
Yes, it's strange, but also Hamilton have to pay attention to his penalty, because if he get another 3-second penalty, Adeo could be very
Right there.
close. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, we have seen how penalties really play a key role in this. When the field is so competitive, it's so close, and the guys just drive so fast and so cleanly that having a penalty really puts you on the back foot. We have seen also this from the group stage, people losing tons of positions just for a
Yes,
3-second penalty.
with the F1 Simu forum, we oftenly see that we've got some pretty close race, and once you've got a penalty, you lose so much position.
So yeah, the drivers have to be very, very careful, and well, now De La Rosa is starting to lose a little bit of time, and
I don't understand why he hasn't pitted yet.
yeah, because there are just 14 laps to go right now, and he could easily make it to the end on another set of super softs. But well, Sutil has just pitted right now. Maybe De La Rosa will do the same on this lap. Let's keep an eye on that. He's now on the straight just before the last corner. Let's see if he pulls to the right-hand side of the track after this turn right. And yes, he does. Yes, he does. He's in the pits, and now this is where the party begins, we could say, because yeah, party mode, I would say, if we were Mercedes.
And no, okay.
And now it's a fastest lap from Hamilton, who is trying its best to avoid De La Rosa coming back at him in the closing stage of the day. And Adeo is right on the outside. He will try the switchback, but De La Rosa is just about ahead, and that's really, really important. And now he just has to push like hell and try and close this, what's that, 13 seconds gap? I don't really understand. There's Spark in the middle. I don't really understand.
Spark is behind Adeo.
Okay,
and, Whereas I just got 13-second gap, so...
Okay, 13 seconds.
I believe with Hamilton has a 9-second penalty. So...
Hamilton has a 9
8?
8, yes. He has those 5 seconds and then 3 seconds.
Okay. You just have to close the gap by
he
1
is
second.
going to take another penalty, maybe, because he took 2 warnings in the last lap.
Okay.
Yeah. He's under pressure. He's surely under pressure from De La Rosa.
One more thing, that Adeo can use De La Rosa to be trained.
Yeah,
and keeping his tail, he has DRS and can manage to have an help
close the gap.
trying to
Yes.
get Hamilton.
Yeah, and he has managed to do so really well in this first lap, because he's just 6 tenths behind, and he has the DRS off of De La Rosa, who is charging for the win right now. And
at the moment he's not doing his teammate
Yes,
yeah, he's not doing him any favors.
for him.
Well,
The best for the team is to don't push at this moment.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, but I think as I was saying before, the qualifications for these two teams is pretty much a formality right now, and so they are feeling free to race, which is good for us, I guess, because we get to see some action here in the closing stages of this race, as we are on lap 45 of 57, and we are nearing the end of this knockout stage of the
And let's
Formula
see if
Europe Champions
De
League.
La Rosa is closing the gap to Hamilton by 1 second per lap, because there's no 11 laps remaining, and De La Rosa is 11 seconds behind Hamilton, so maybe he can gain 1 second per lap. But,
1:28.773. This is the lap time of De La Rosa in the last lap. It's the fastest lap of the race, of course, and he is flying at the moment. He's
and
really
also,
flying.
Adeo puts a quick lap on soft tires. He puts 129.491. It's just 1/10 of a second behind slower than Hamilton. It's not
Yeah,
bad at all.
and but still he lost the tail of De La Rosa. So now the Red Bull driver is free to push without towing anyone and training anyone with him, and so.
And Adeo is 14th second behind Hamilton.
Yeah, Hideo has to try and do his thing there and try to stay as close as he can to that those 8 seconds of penalty that Hamilton has if he wants to try and get that position. It's not easy because he would have to close the gap a little bit more, but anything can happen, and Adeo knows it and is trying to stay focused until the very end, and we'll see what happens. It's really nothing is certain until everyone crosses the finish line, so that's also really, really exciting. 10 seconds separating Hamilton and De La Rosa right now. It's just a couple more seconds that De La Rosa has to gain the effective lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And he goes a little bit wide here at turn 10. Under braking, he lost it a little bit, but that doesn't really matter that much because he's still gaining so much time. 9.9 right now. While a little bit further back, there's F1 Hero who is trying a really bold move on the inside of Sabo, and nearly going to spin on the hairpin of turn 10. Now he's going, trying to go on the inside, and Sabo goes wide, and so F1 Hero has the possibility to slip down the inside. De La Rosa, 1:28.65 seconds. Sutil is in the inside on Sabo. And wow, that's really unexpected, and he manages to take P9, and now we'll be trying to overtake F1 Hero. Let's see if he manages to do so. He has DRS on the pit straight.
He's a bit far.
He's a little bit far, but he can try on the outside. We've seen him doing that many times, and he does it once more on the outside. TF1 Sutil does another brilliant move to take P8 in this race from F1 Hero Z God, and that's one of his favorite spots, I would say.
Yes, once again.
He
and
was
now De La
also
Rosa is off He's behind Hamilton by 8.6 seconds.
Yeah, 8.6, he's almost there. He still has to push a little bit more and try and break into those 8 seconds. That would mean for him taking the effective lead of the race, and he goes for another fastest lap, 128.489. He's really going for it. He's putting in fastest lap after fastest lap, and he really does seem unstoppable right now with these super soft tires against the more worn and older soft tires of the others. So he has a really good chance right now, and we'll see if he's going to make the most of it. 7.8, he is now the effective leader of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And yeah, we'll see if he can keep this to the end or even get closer, while Adeo is 8 seconds behind De La Rosa already. It's incredible how fast the Red Bull driver is going, how much faster he can be with
Yes.
this tire advantage. And really, that strategy that came out of nowhere, actually came out of him not managing to put in a good lap in qualifying, and that was his fortune, because he could start on new medium tires, and he had plenty of new sets of super softs that he could use in the race, and he's really done the job to make the most of it. And
Yes, and if he really doesn't have his setup, it would be amazing to win the race with
with
a
no
starter,
setup and with a
with
strategy that was ruined from qualifying. Yeah, it would be quite an achievement, but there are still 7 laps to go, and anything can happen. While for all the others, the situation is pretty much settled in. We have Adeo in 3rd place, then Spark and William in 5th, Matouf, and then I would say in another world, Alesi,
Yes.
Sutil, Hero, Sabo, Scubix, and Plasia, who round out the 12-man grid we have tonight. 6.8 is the gap. I don't know if at this point De La Rosa wants to take the first position on track, or if he is going to just arrive behind Hamilton and call it a day, call it a victory.
I hope De Rosa knows that Hamilton got a 8-second penalty.
Yeah, because we hope that for him, because it's really...
Anyway,
it
the
would be
most
really...
important thing is to bring the car home, and
At this point, yes, it is. He doesn't need to take unnecessary risks. And knowing that his teammate has a penalty, it's well, it would help in that sense, because he would know he doesn't have to push anymore, to push that much anymore if he wants to win the race. But I don't think in the mind of a driver such a thing as stop pushing does exist.
yes, I think
And that's
he's
fair
just
enough.
enjoying his set of super soft tires, and I think he can push as much as he wants.
Yeah. He really has so much confidence. He has shown that since the beginning. At the start, we saw after turn 1, he was already in P8 from P11 on the grid. So 3 positions gained on the first turn, and then he stormed his way through the field, and now he's on a charge to go and win the race. So pretty much everything went the right way apart from qualifying.
Absolutely.
For him.
Yes, and it was a very strong race for him.
While for the F1 Simo, it was looking really, for the F1 Simo guys, it was looking really good in qualifying. They had managed to place a lot of their drivers in the top 5. But then in the race, they did their job actually. Really good and strong pace from pretty much all of them. They are P3, P4, P5, and P6 right now. And De La Rosa is still doing fastest laps, so he doesn't want to stop pushing, I don't think.
Yes, so the F1 guys did the job.
They did what they had to do. Yeah,
Yes.
they had to bring the car home.
But it was impossible to resist to De La Rosa and Hamilton also. He was really quick. Adeo tried to do it, but at the middle of the race he just couldn't resist anymore to Hamilton. And we see De La Rosa just being slowing down by Stubix.
What a risk took he there.
It's not the first risk that he takes with a lapped car. We were talking about that earlier when he had a little bit of a something with Sabo, who on the hairpin just about got out of the way in time. But luckily for both of them, no one was hurt. No car was hurt by that, and so it's all fine, and De La Rosa is 4.5 seconds behind TF1 Hamilton, so largely inside the what we could call the penalty area, and now he just has to bring it home. 3 laps to go, and
yes, he just has to not doing mistake.
And I think the TF1 guys have really stepped up a little bit from the group stage, because at that point, they had some very good performances. Like De La Rosa was doing really well, but then they didn't manage to get the results they needed to stay really up in the standings, and so they had to pass through the knockout stages where they seem to be really dominant. So despite them having to go through 2 more races, I wouldn't count them completely out of the question for the final. Sorry, and because they do have a lot of potential and a lot of speed. We are seeing that today.
Yes,
and
of course. They just need a little bit of better luck in qualifying, just to do the cleanest race.
Yeah, they don't have to start on the back foot for after a bad qualifying, and also have to be, maybe apart from De La Rosa, who has always been at the top, pretty much at every race he has done. They have to be maybe a little bit more consistent and more concrete in taking home the points and really doing the job when they need to. So that's why I wouldn't count them out for the final. They are a really strong side to face, and yeah, it's gonna be an exciting final stage of this Formula Europe Champions League. We are pretty sure of that as we approach the second last lap of this knockout stage, with Hamilton in front of De La Rosa by just under 3 seconds. And Adeo, who has now abandoned any hope of getting ahead of the McLaren driver, who's now leading, is now 17 seconds, 18 seconds behind. So, yeah, he will be happy with his third place, though.
Yes, of course, he would be happy with that. I think he could see during the race that the two TF1 guys were very too quick, and I believe he's happy because the rest of the F1 Simu team is doing well also.
Yeah, they are all there.
drivers,
From
they are all-
P3 to P6 is all F1 Simu.
Yes, so he will be happy with that podium.
Yeah, and also the team will be through to the final, and so that's another really good achievement for the whole team. Last lap has started just now, and TF1 Hamilton is still leading with 2.1 seconds on TF1 De La Rosa, and then starting the last lap in this moment is F1 Simo Adeo in third place, and we have to follow the top drivers in for this final time around the Bahrain circuit, and we will see if effectively De La Rosa has made it, or if by some kind of strange things that we have missed during the race, Hamilton is actually the winner. But we are nearing now.
If the race
Yeah.
was just a little bit longer, it would have been good for De La Rosa. He would have overtaken Hamilton on track.
Yeah, I think we would have had a pretty good fight. But now Hamilton is turning for the last time on turn 14, and he's going to cross the line to finish first, but only for a few seconds, because the winner is TF1 De La Rosa for Territorio F1, and second place is
again fastest lap
with the fastest lap on the last lap. While F1 Simo Adeo comes home in P3 just now. P4 is F1 Simo Spark, who I don't know where he is.
He's crossing the line at the moment.
Yeah, and now he has returned to the right position, right when we need it.
Okay.
And William is in P5, Matouf in P6 is going to be the last one to cross the line, because from P7 to P12 the drivers are all a lap down. As we said during the commentary, this race was divided into two big groups, and Matouf closes the first of these groups and completes the race with a really good
And Sabo is the
P6.
last driver to cross the line.
Yeah, and he crosses the line right in this moment. So it's TF1 De La Rosa is the winner, and 25 points in the bag for him and his team Territorio F1, who also enjoy a 1-2 with TF1 Hamilton finishing first on track but second after the penalties. And rounding out the podium is F1 Simo Adeo. We are now waiting for the first three drivers to join us here in the commentary box for some questions, and we will see what they have to tell us if they want, obviously, if they will be coming to. But in general, Tommy, tell us about your impressions about this race. It was not as exciting in terms of on-track action, but it was a really strategy-packed race, I would say.
Yes, and we saw De La Rosa gaining position after positions during the race, and that was very exciting.
Yeah, De La Rosa did a stunning job. He's starting from P11 on such a competitive grid and managing to make it all the way to the victory is something that has to be is a story to be told.
Yes.
For sure.
And also we saw some great moves on the outside of turn one, so that was really great too.
Yeah, he was one of the favorite positions to go and try and overtake. That would be good for not only the drivers and the teams, but also for the spectators, and that was indeed a really good. They were indeed really good moves. So we have F1 Simo Adeo joining us here. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So I wanted to ask you a little bit about your race in general. We said during the commentary that you guys from F1 Simo seemed were looking really, really good on qualifying pace. Then on the race, especially from the second stint on, you started to maybe settle in a little bit more, and the TF1 guys just were a little bit too fast today. Maybe if you can tell us about your perspective of this race.
Yeah, I think it's a good resume. The qualification was better than I expected, but I saw in the first laps that Hamilton was really fast, and it wasn't a surprise that I couldn't follow him and stay in the DRS zone. And yeah, after that. My race was pretty good. I have a good pace, just not good enough to catch Hamilton and De La Rosa. So no regrets for me, and I think for the three of us Simbu drivers, it's the same. I think we are where we have to be. I think just perhaps Matouf could be just a little bit faster, but for Spark and William, it's good race, and the most important thing was to assure the qualification for the finals, and with Hamilton and De La Rosa with their pace, it was impossible to finish in front of them.
Okay, thank you so much, Deo. And I think we might be done for tonight because I don't think Hamilton and De La Rosa will be joining us for some
Yes, I
questions.
confirmed that Rosa went offline, and as soon as I know Hamilton didn't come for the interviews, so we can close.
Okay, okay. So I would say thank you so much to all of you for watching, and thank you to F1 Simutomi for being alongside me tonight in the commentary box.
Yeah, thank you, you too. It was a pleasure tonight. Great race, and happy to be here. And soon on track again, also.
Okay, and then last but certainly not least, we have to thank our live stream director, Alessandro Pietracatella.
Thank you.
And with that, it's really everything we have for now. See you in the finals, and have a good night, everyone.